Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So, I was actually able to do some rating and practice my rotation and fine tune some things. And I found the best rotation for me, the best spec that I'm using. So, we're going to go over our stat priority, our rotation, and our talent build. Now, I'm assuming that most of you guys know what the spells do and how they work. So I'm not going to make a 20-minute video on what to do. I'm just going to let you guys know what I'm doing, and I think if there's a few ideas that maybe you're not doing, it's definitely going to help out. So hopefully this video will give you guys some information. So the stat priority for the Havoc Demon Hunter is crit, mastery, haste, versatility. That's what the stat priority is at the moment. In time, it might change. We'll see. The talent build that I'm currently using is Fellblade, Demon Blades, First Blood, Soul Rendering, Nemesis, Master of the Glaive, and Chaos Blades. This, by far, is probably one of the strongest builds for Havoc Demon Hunter. Most of the top-end raiders are all using this build. This build feels very comfortable, very smooth. That said, though, if there are a few choices that you don't like in this spec, a lot of the talents are very competitive. So you can definitely switch things out because maybe you're doing, let's just say a number. Maybe you're doing 50 DPS with this spec. Well, if you tweak a few things, maybe you do 75. So even though this might be the best spec, well, you have a different playstyle which allows you to do more TPS. That's perfectly fine. This is what I'm working with, though. So the rotation is more of a stat priority system, and I actually do something a little bit different than I've noticed most demon hunters do. I don't think I've heard of one demon hunter actually doing this. Maybe they've done it a couple times, but not consistently throughout the rotation. I use Fell Rush and Fell Blade at the same time if I have a Fell Rush charge. I do not use Fell Rush for a filler. A lot of people do. And when I mean filler is if you have no Fury for your Chaos Strike or your Blade Dance, people are using Fell Rush as a filler, which I don't do at all, because I feel if I Fell Rush and I Fell Rush maybe a little too far from the target, my Demon Blades is my main focus generator, right? So if I Fell Rush away, now my auto attacks aren't hitting my target for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So I have to come back into the target. So I do not use Fell Rush as a filler. I have Throw Glaive, which I have a Master of the Glaive. I can use 2 Throw Glaives. This is more than enough for your filler. If you need a little bit more, just wait a second and you will have your Fell Blade will come off cooldown, and you'll be able to generate some more Fury that way. So if you've used both Throw Glaives, just wait a second, relax, and then when something comes up, then continue and go. If you Fell Rush, it might mess things up. So watch this. I'm going to Fell Rush Fell Blade. So I'm on the target, I go Fell Rush Fell Blade, and I'm right back in. There's no delay, right? So I'm getting the extra damage from my Fell Rush, and I'm coming right back in, set up perfectly. I love the feel of it. If you guys haven't tried the play style of Fell Rush, Fell Blade, like all the time, it's so comfortable, and I'm really liking the spec with that change. So try it. It might help you guys out. So rotation is a stat priority system almost. We need Fury. And the 2 ways that we're going to generate Fury is through Fellblade and our auto attacks because of Demon Blades. So, that said, Fellblade is something that you're going to want to keep on cooldown almost all the time. The only time that I do not want to keep this on cooldown is if I have 80 plus Fury. If I have 80 plus Fury, then I might start overstacking it depending on, your traits. Like me, I have 130, so if I'm at, still 80 is a good number. But if I'm around 80 or above, I'm not going to waste a Fell Blade, right? Because I'm just going to start overlapping my Fury. So you might as well spend it and then go ahead and use it. So once you drop below 80, go ahead and feel free to use that. So what I do, just for a quick little rundown of the rotation, it's going to be slower, so Fury's going to be higher and so on, but this is pretty much what I'll do. This is not an opener. This is just the rotation. So when I have both Fel Rush and Fel Blade, I'll use both of them. And if I did not have enough Fury for a Chaos Strike, I will definitely use a Blade Dance. And if I had way more than enough, I'll spam my Chaos Strike. And then whenever Fel Blade comes up, I hit it mid-rotation. I continue to spam my Chaos Strike. You'll notice for me, if Blade Dance is up, right, but I have way more than enough Fury, I'm definitely using Chaos Strike over Blade Dance. But on a real situation, when I'm spamming all this stuff, I'm gaining so much Fury, I'm going to be just going crazy with Chaos Strikes. And then once I don't have enough Fury, I'll Blade Dance. That's another thing that I do different. A lot of people will try to keep Blade Dance on cooldown, which is a great idea. It's very good defensively because we get that 1 second of 100% dodge. It's cool. But I feel Chaos Strike is still way more powerful than Demon Blades, because Chaos Strike has a chance to regain Fury. It hits hard. When it double crits, it's crazy. Use it, right? So I use as many Chaos Strikes as I can, and then when I can't, I'll Blade Dance. And you'll notice if you do that method, you're using Blade Dance quite a bit. It's almost off cooldown all the time, but it's there when you need it. If I use it all the time, that's when I'm going to be dependent on my filler, and I don't want to have to depend on my filler. I want my filler there when I need it, when there's nothing else to go. So if I use my Blade Dance in the beginning, and then I spam Chaos Strikes, and then I spam my fillers, that's when I get in a weird situation where I have nothing to do. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with the rotation. If you guys want to know my burst macro, I have a video all about that, so you guys can check that out for my burst. My burst is really high. I think I burst, like, last night, I think the highest that I got to was like 1.4 million, and that was really cool to see. And some of you guys might have higher bursts, some of you guys might have lower bursts, but the burst for Havoc is crazy right now. Now, one spell that I did not mention is I did not mention Fury of the Illidari, and I classify this as a mini cooldown. It's on a minute cooldown, so when I'm playing with my rotation, this isn't part of my rotation because it's a minute, right? So when I'm going and doing my rotation, when this comes up, I will definitely put it down. Maybe there's some ads coming in the next 5 to 10 seconds. I'm going to wait, and then when those ads come up, then I'll put it down. So not part of your rotation, but a very crucial part to use this ability. And one other thing that I will mention just real quick, Blur is an amazing cooldown. Do not forget to use this because it's on a minute cooldown. Anytime you need to pop a defensive, you can pop a defensive now. This is our defensive ability. It does not generate Fel Rush charges, which kind of sucks, but on another side note, it's really good because now we actually have a defensive cooldown. So that's really strong. So don't be afraid to use that. Alright guys, like, favorite, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. Hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit. If it didn't, I apologize. If it did, that's amazing. Alright, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon.